appreciate all you guys for being here today. Let's go to the great, the one and only Jeff Kerr, set to join us right here on Birds 365. You can follow him at Jeff Kerr PHL. Jeff, welcome to the program on a Tuesday, my friend. I normally see that shiny mug on a Monday, and you're here with us on a Tuesday. It's good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
Pretty good. Hey, John, is the embargo lifted yet, or are you guys allowed to?
It is, yeah. It is 6 o'clock this morning, so we're talking about it. It's all broke. So people are saying, where are these guys getting this stuff? Well, we're getting it from the GM and the head coach. So there you go.
I will say, I guess from the outside looking in, the Eagles are the only franchise that seems to do this.
Well, I'm not going to complain. We got about 40 minutes with each of them.
Yeah, which is great, by the way. It's just weird how I don't know if the Eagles are actually going to have like a press conference for Sean Mannion or anything like that, but I mean,
no, they're going to hold that off till, and they've done the same thing with Kellen Moore, even experienced people. So they're going to hold that off till. Yeah. Well, their thought process behind that is, look, there's going to be a lot of questions that he can't answer right now because they don't have personnel set. They don't have plans. Their plans are obviously underway, but you don't know how things are going to work out.
They haven't finalized their whole coaching staff yet either.
No, they haven't finalized their whole, which they also tend to do late. Montgomery Van Gorder, the latest, he's going to be the assistant quarterbacks coach. They didn't have an assistant, so now they have an assistant.
Yeah, well, Montgomery got promoted as far as I know.
He got promoted.
From my friend, the great Matt Zenith. He's
doing a good job. Matt Zenith is plugged in when it comes to coaches, man. That dude
he was plugged in when we worked in college together. He was building that up. I'm not surprised he is where he is right
now. So he was at Georgia, Montgomery Bay. He was a quarterback at Notre Dame way back, but a backup. Youngstown State, Ron Jaworski School. So he's going to be the assistant quarterbacks coach. Should have mentioned that. But yeah, from the Eagles' perspective, look, and I don't agree with it because I think Sean would get a bunch of, and from everything I've heard behind the scenes, like you're going to be really impressed by Sean Mannion. Like I'm like I'd let him go.
Let him talk.
He's going to get a lot of questions about it. His offensive roots and his thought process. He's not going to get, do you want AJ Brown back? But, there's one knucklehead that's going to say that and ruin it for everybody. That's what happens.
But it's a shame, too, because, again, just reading both sides of the fence, and I kind of agree with the fans on this. So, I kind of like to know a little more about this guy. I know what I'm reading about him, but I kind of want to hear him speak. And when they see the Jaguars and the Bills and all, and anybody who has a coordinator, they're having these press conferences. They're like, boy, I wish we could have one right now.
Well, perfect example is Kristen Parker down in Dallas. So I don't know if you watched his opening press conference.
Yeah, I saw some of it.
But he got the questions are you guys going to bring in the Eagles free agents, Nakobe Dean, etc. It's like, I mean, he's not the GM. He's not Will McClellan. He's not. Yeah. He's not. That's what they don't want happening, which does happen. So I have to acknowledge. But I think Sean could handle it. I say let him go, but they're not going to listen to me. So, but that's the reason you won't hear Sean Mannion until OTAs or off-season work. And that's been their history with even Kellen Moore, who had experience. That's the way they've been. And Vic Fangio's got more experience than God himself. So it's not about hiding the young guy. It's just the way they do it because,
it's hard to argue the way they do it with their success, just overall as an organization. But if this was like a 5-win team, this would not fly.
Well, they act like a 5-win team sometimes, so they're not a 5-win team, but they act.
Jeff, what's your current feeling on? Let's go to AJ. They spoke about him, and they gave you. It's not an easy thing for them to talk about, which I understand. What is your feeling on AJ Brown at this point, based on what you've read, what you've heard? John's at 53-47, the first time he's cracked the 52-48 plane yesterday. In fact, at the 53, that AJ will be gone. Where is the Jeff Kerr meter on AJ Brown?
It just doesn't seem like good business to trade a guy like that away, but I don't know. It's so weird how this whole thing is kind of playing out. Like, there are ways they can do it. I just don't think it to be a Super Bowl contender, you trade him away. But I mean, is he more trouble than he's worth right now? I don't know. You know, I don't make too much of him going on the Patriots podcast and doing that wink. I'm telling you, I think his biggest issue is he tries to find any way he can to get attention. And that's everybody today. He's just doing it in his own way. And whether the Eagles like it or not, I guess it's up to the Eagles.
I just don't care about it. I'm like, AJ wants attention. Who cares?
I'm AJ'd out, and I love AJ.
Me
But
too.
that's why I'm far more more.
You know what? I would love to tell AJ Brown, and like, this is just from coach perspective. Dude, you weren't that good last year. Like, you were good, but you weren't AJ Brown good. You dropped passes.
He wasn't.
You gave up on plays.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear, and you shouldn't need to be that motivated. I don't know.
Well, I agree with you is that he didn't play up to the caliber that I'm used to seeing AJ. That I completely agree with AJ Brown. Now, I don't care that much about the social stuff, but I get that the Eagles do care about it. Well, I mean, look, it's perception, and it does bring press and questions, and people have to deal with it. So I get it; it's a part of their everyday life. But I'll take the player.
My issue is there's a hornet's nest in front of you. You walk around it, you don't hit it, and he always likes to hit it. He has to hit it.
Yeah, it seems that way. I'm with Zander. I'm AJ'd out. I don't know. I mean, look, they're going to make a decision. This decision, I think, has more to do with AJ Brown than it does to do with the Eagles. Look, it's not the proper time to trade him if everything is copacetic, even if he's coming off a bad year because of the contract. So, if there weren't other issues, they wouldn't be even entertaining, contemplating, picking up phone calls, anything about AJ Brown because of the contract. I've used it, and I'm going to use it again because Jeff is here. Mike Tomlin's great quote: "You don't want hostages, you want volunteers." And if he doesn't want to play here, I think that's where the Eagles are. And if he's going to be frustrated, that's where the Eagles are. So can he buy in on Sean Mannion and evolving the offense? I think that's the only question with AJ Brown. If he buys in, and if he convinces them,
he'd end up. Like, where do you think if he wants out of here? Like,
I think a lot of teams would want him. Starting with New England.
But does that mean
he is a Patriots fan. So I mean,
yeah.
That's no secret to anybody.
He likes Vrabel, gets along with Vrabel, didn't want Vrabel to leave.
Well, it's funny, he hated Vrabel. He did it when he was a rookie, he couldn't stand.
Well, yeah, when he was a rookie though. But rookies don't like anyway.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm much more interested about free agency, and I want to roll out the big, at least I think, the big Howie Roseman quote. So. And I think this is going to upset a lot of people because people like the big name trap. They like hashtag no season. That's what I call it. Everybody, could they get Tyreek Hill? No. Could they get insert? And Tyreek Hill's not even healthy. That was a horrible injury, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's Dolphins waited a year too late to get rid of him.
Yeah. So every big name you hear, can they get him? Can they get him? Can they get him? Hashtag no. So here's Howie, but don't listen to me. Here's Howie Roseman. Sometimes, as much as you want to add from the outside and you want to change it up, you got to make a decision to keep players have played well and are part of your culture. Can we keep all our guys, considering we have, for example, a lot of key defensive players coming off rookie deals in the next few years? No. We are going to have to make choices, as they already have in the past with guys like Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. For us to sign them, that's going to limit some flexibility with outside players. So then you combine that with the fact that teams, because there's more cap room, that's another thing I should have mentioned. Teams have gotten smarter because the cap has gone up. Teams have done a great job of signing their own players. That's your hint that free agency, the market sucks.
Exactly right.
Yeah. It wasn't good last year, by the way.
No, because teams are getting savvier and understanding that's not the way to build a successful team. So to continue with Howie, he says, and so you can just shuffle deck chairs, right? And just say, hey, I'm going to trade out this guy because he's not ours. And maybe it's a better PR move than, we're active. Look, they signed this guy. But that means we're going to have to get rid of one of our own guys. And so everything we do at this point is a trade-off. If we do this, we're going to have to get rid of that. That's Howie Roseman. It's not me. That's Howie Roseman. I don't think people like that, Jeff.
No, I don't think I think you're going to have another Temu offseason.
I think it's going to be a little bit up from that, but not much.
Yeah,
I don't think. Now, again, they will make a splash for a certain player. They would have made a splash for Myles Garrett. They would have made a splash for Michael.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's available. I expect them in on it. Same with Max Crosby.
But I don't know about Matt. I'm not as high on Max Crosby as
I was on with my boy Q Myers last week on the Raiders radio. We were just like having some fun with it. And he goes, Jeff, what do you think? AJ Brown for Max Crosby? And I'm like, well, I would do it, but what you guys doing is like, no.
I don't think it's going to be enough to get Max Crosby, and for that reason, I am out on Max Crosby. Yeah, I haven't really been on that for a while. I don't. It just doesn't feel like for what you're going to have to pay, it's going to get you what you need. So I don't know though. I know he is a good player.
One of my bold predictions was, and I said this on the Raiders radio. I wouldn't be shocked if Nakobe Dean was a Raider.
I could see that. Because
he's close to Ronell Williams, and when I talked to him, he always liked him. He always spoke highly of him, and Ronell's in Vegas now. So
Nakobe won't listen to my advice, and that's perfectly fine. But my advice for Nakobe Dean is go get the best contract for you can find. I don't care what team it's on, man.
Hey, look, Milton Williams did it. It worked out well for him.
Exactly right.
I told you what I'm doing, Nakobe Dean, because they have no money. I'm signing a 1-year deal with Minnesota, and I'm going to blow up with Brian Flores.
Oh, he'd be a stud there. I'm telling you, wherever he goes, I think he's going to have a good year.
Yeah, he's a good player, but he's really good blitzer. I mean, a really good blitzer. Yeah. And that's why I say Flores, because he turned Eric Wilson into a player. My God, if he can do that for Eric Wilson,
terrible here. Yeah.
If he can do that for Eric Wilson, what's he going to do for Nakobe Dean?
Yeah, my thing about Eric Wilson, like, he's still in the league. Like, he was on the Eagles 6 years ago and you thought he was done.
Yeah, well, Eric, I like Eric personally. He remade his body, sort of TJ Edwards did. So he's a different guy. Like he really worked hard. Late bloomer, decent player, wasn't good here. Had a really good season last season. But I think he's limited. I think, but he was a good blitzer, and Flores took advantage of it. And I think he would do that for Nakobe Dean as well. But they have no money. They're like $40 million over the cap. So I don't know how it works. But if he could get connected with Brian Flores, I think it would work really well. Otherwise, and most of the time for any player, especially Nakobe Dean, who's had the Liz Frank and the patellar tendon, just take the biggest contract.
Do we really think Malik Willis is a top free agent?
I do, yeah. Partially because of Sean Mannion.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, that's the reason why you should be excited. Malik Willis was garbage before he got to Sean Mannion.
I mean, I can't. How many games did Malik Willis play with Sean Mannion as his quarterback?
Not a lot, but I'll tell you what.
He played 2 years with him.
In a league. In a league that is quarterback desperate, I mean, he looked like he's.
I agree. He's going to be coveted. I'm not using it as my nail in the coffin that Sean I guess that's the wrong.
No,
term.
no.
I'm using it as my reason to feel good about Mannion. That's all.
I'm just saying it's part of it. It's a feather in his cap. I mean, to Jeff's point, he was garbage coming into Green Bay, and now he's going to get a pretty significant, pretty decent free agent deal, probably with Miami, because Jeff Hapley's down there. That's my guess. And they're looking to move up to it, and they need to. That just didn't work. And I'm not saying he's going to be great, but I was really impressed when he stepped in for Jordan Love. He did play really well. I think it's fair to say. And I'm not giving the coach credit for that. It's the player, but he helped. You got to give him that. You got to give him that.
He fixed them. I mean, from what all the scouts and draftniks said about Willis, they all look like idiots when he was in Tennessee, and then he gets to Green Bay, and then you're seeing, so that's what they see, or that's the talent they see.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'd rather have Malik Willis than Tua. That's how bad it's gotten for Tua. I don't like Tua a little bit.
No, yeah, you never have, John.
One read just throws it. He's got a lot of Favre in him. You know, he decides where he's going to throw the ball, and he's throwing it. Now, if guys are open, he's great, but I can't have that.
Well, that was when Tyreek Hill was in his prime. But yeah, I'm just looking at the top free agent list now. It's a very underwhelming list.
It's extremely underwhelming. I mean, I see people in the chat joking, and I understand it. You know, another Temu offseason. It's like it almost.
I mean, it is a Temu offseason.
You almost want it to be a Temu offseason because I don't think there's anybody out there that's all that worth going.
Honestly, one of the best free agents is your own guy, Jaelan Phillips.
So with that being said, then where's the walkaway number? I think John has to go up a couple million at least. I mean, if we put the walkaway number at 22. I think we got to give the Eagles up to 25 at this point on the walkaway.
I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to look like. I mean, there are. If you took out the injury issues, I do think it's going to go up. But I think it would already be up. I think that would already be baked into it. And then he doesn't have the huge sack numbers as well. So. I agree with all that, but the problem is when push comes to shove and these teams need a player and there's not better options out there, and then you got 10 of them, looking to get in the sweepstakes. A couple of them are going to be dumb enough to push it up the board. Even if it's just 2 of them, it doesn't have to be all 10 of them or 15 of them that want an edge rusher. If 2 of them are willing to pay and take the gamble and take the risk, and they listen to Vic Fangio's press conferences talking about them, then that's going to be enough. There's not enough players out there, I think, to keep the number low. Well, yeah, if the numbers, I'm looking at SpotRac now, 17.338 million.
Sign me up, baby.
Sign it up. Yeah, get that done. So, I mean, if that's your low point and, 30 million is your high point, none of us know what the hell we're doing. And ultimately, I think he's going to be plus 20 million. Where that ends up, the closer to 20 million, the more likely he's an Eagle.
It's Phillips and Odafe Owe are like the 2 big pass rushers. And I mean, normally it'd be Trey Hendrickson, but
they're very similar. Has Odafe Owe gotten a sack since he left Penn State? I know he didn't get a sack.
Oh, well, he was a beast with the Chargers after he got traded.
I'm joking. That is the weirdest prospect. I gotta give my Penn State dig at Jeff. His last year he didn't have a sack, right?
His last year at Penn State he didn't have a sack, and I think that's when he changed. I think that's when he went to his birthday too, because he was Jason Owe at Penn State.
And get this, because I'm on Spot. I'm not trying to pick on SpotRac. Odafe Owe's market value is $19.3424 million. It's higher than Jaelan Phillips.
Man, they're really banking on 8 games with the Chargers, aren't they?
Well, I think he's going to get a lot of money.
I think he is too. He's a good player.
He is.
I couldn't believe it didn't work out in Baltimore.
In fact, I think if things go wrong, you got to start looking at him to bring him in.
Where do we think Alec Pierce goes? He's going to get paid.
I don't think he's leaving Indy. I think they're going to franchise one and maybe transition the other.
Is he like the modern day James Lofton? Like he has it. What does he average? Like 20 yards a catch?
Yeah, he's a good player. What are they going?
What do you guys think Nakobe Dean's going to get? I mean, with all this, with the lack of talent at free agency, now he's got the injuries too, but man, he can play.
I think he can get $15 million a year.
I don't think he's going that high. I don't think
he is either, but I think someone that has a lot of cap room, they
Isn't
might
that
do
what
it.
Bond got? Didn't Bond get like 17?
Yeah, he's like 15, I think, Bond. But I mean, the cap went up. I don't think I think he's 10 million, somewhere around there.
Which is a pretty good deal for Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, with his injury history, if he can get that, if he can get 2 years, 20, take it and run. SpotRac has him at 8 million, basically 7.89 million. Nakobe.
Yeah, John, you are right about the whole free agency thing now. It's just not as big as it was because the cap went up.
Yeah, and more people can sign.
Yeah, I wonder how much the Howie influence has permeated the league in terms of how he does deals. It's given the Eagles, in a way, such a big advantage. I'm sure you guys have seen that graphic that's out there of the Eagles like dead cap or the cap that they pushed into the future and how it's so much bigger than everybody else's. And I do wonder how much. Now you got to have the owner willing to spend, and obviously Jeffrey Lurie deserves a lot of credit for that, but. I do wonder how much of that has started to permeate the league, at least a little bit more, to where the advantage has lessened significantly.
Sorry. Well, breaking that, not important news, but
yeah.
I do want to throw it out there. While the NFL is no longer discussing a tush push man, the UFL will announce today that it is eliminating the tush push.
The UFL setting the standard here.
Eliminating. Now, you do chuckle, but sometimes they use these lower leags to like.
I'm shocked we went 30 plus minutes with me on here and we haven't talked about that yet.
They do use these lower leagues to like testing, like the kickoffs, and
it's true.
They steal things from the XFL, the old XFL, and the UFL. So it is. Maybe they're going to look at how it looks and then ban pushing down the road. So I wouldn't just completely dismiss it. But getting back to your point, yeah, I think a lot of people copy the way Howie does things. But there is a price to pay, and that's where you're in that the eye of the storm, because for 10 years nobody spent more cash than the Eagles. And then they happened to draft well on top of it. And then it was like they had too many good players, and then you got to pick and choose who you're going to keep.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good problem to have, though.
They've been in and out of the park since pretty much 2021. And if you count 2020 with Jalen Hurts, that made up for anybody you drafted.
Yeah, most teams don't have too many good players to worry about keeping them all. So it's a good problem to have. But it's also a real... good problem still has the word problem in it. It's still, it's better.
It's one of those, it sucks because you can't keep everybody.
Exactly. So, I mean, what would you prefer? But I thought the reason I read that quote, I thought it was a great quote from Howie for that reason. Like, people think outside names are additions, which they are, and they think re-signing your own guys isn't an addition. However, and technically it isn't because he was your own guy, but when they're unrestricted,
and when you lose them, yeah, it's a loss. And I tried telling Phillies fans that with a certain DH and a catcher.
Yeah, they just don't, they're never going to think about it that way. No. So from the Eagles' perspective, their top decision in free agency is Jaelan Phillips. And then everything else pivots off that. If he stays,
I don't think anybody here is going to complain that they bring him back.
Well, no, they're not going to complain if they bring them back, but they're going to complain that they don't bring people in because they brought them back. They're just not going to trace the two together.
Yeah. It's like you said, they gave a third round pick for him. So that's their guy.
Yeah. So that to me is what free agency is about for the Eagles. That's where it starts, and we'll see where it goes. But as far as the market as a whole, again, I'm sure people put in the chat, who do you want? Look at this market. It's crap.
It's not good. Like it's starting to get like NBA free agency. You're really getting the bottom of the barrel with a couple of these guys.
And you're getting veteran guys who are descending a lot of times. Like there's big names, but they're not what they once were.
Travis Etienne's available. Do you think he's a big name? I from college, I guess, but
what are they going to do with him? I don't know.
No, I'm saying in general, in the general free agent pool.
David Njoku, a lot of people got on him. It's like, all right, he's 30 and Dallas is 31. I'm just looking at Trey Hendrickson, 31. Yeah, it's not good, man.
Rashid Shaheed's 28 already. I did not realize that.
Well, he's a one-trick pony. Yeah. Nice trick, though, but he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, it's a good trick.
Mike Evans is – I don't think Mike Evans is actually going to be back in Tampa.
Well, why would he leave Tampa?
I know. Why would he leave? But
he's going to be 33. He's 32. He's going to be 33. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Where it's not like Jerry Rice played somewhere else, so it's not like that. But who's going to give Mike Evans at almost 33? Who's going to give him $20 million?
Yeah, I think my bargain is in free agency. Who I think you can get on a good deal and get even better value. Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem. Those guys, and that's part of the problem with Jaelan Phillips. They're the few and far between guys who are 26, 27, who could really help you.
There used to be a lot of them. Isaac Seumalo was a free agent.
Yeah.
And he's been good in Pittsburgh, like legit.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. What about looking at these Green Bay guys?
Like Romeo Dobbs?
Hey, well, ask Sean Mannion. Are you going to sign John Fitzpatrick? Are you going to sign well, you're not going to sign Malik Willis. Sean Ryan.
It'd be funny if they did. Could you imagine if somehow Malik Willis signed here? Oh man.
Romeo Dobbs.
I think it'd be fun.
Romeo Dobbs with his goofy kazoo helmet. Is he going to come here, Sean Mannion?
He's a guardian. He's a guardian cap guy, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what he's talking. That's what John's talking about. I don't mind.
There was a player that wore a guardian cap in the Super Bowl.
The kazoo helmet. Yeah, I don't have a problem. It's just it's funny.
Do people know who Kazoo is anymore?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But I'm old.
I just remember in the Flintstones, Pebbles would go, Kazoo. And someone would always say, bless you, Pep. She's the only one who knew who he was.
Jeff, you have a knack to know a little bit of everything, my friend.
I'm telling you, I watch a lot of television.
And there's not much we talk about that you don't have
I tell people, I'd be a great radio show host. Like you said, I know a little bit of everything.
There you go, Jeff.
Well, not know. Do people not know who Kazoo is, really? Zander, can you?
Think about this. The Flintstones came out 60 years ago.
And check out his helmet and put it up for the people if you can put it up.
I'll put it up. I'll put up Kazoo. Show a little Kazoo on the show today. Kazoo from the Flintstones. There it is. Comes right up.
That's when that show broke the fourth wall too.
Yeah, man.
Or jumped the shark. Well, I guess they jumped the shark before jumping the shark was actually a thing.
It's Gazoo. Is that right, guys? Gazoo. G-A-Z-O.
No, it's K.
I always thought it was Kazoo.
Kazoo. Yeah, it is Kazoo. You're right.
Not according to my Google search here.
That's right. It's Kazoo. You're right. I screwed that up. It's been a while. Gazoo. It
Yeah,
is.
I think
There he is, the great Gazoo.
The great Gazoo, yeah.
There
All right.
with the big helmet. All right.
There, the big helmet.
Hello, Dum Dum.
He said that a lot. Yeah.
There you go.
The Romeo Dobbs helmet. But can you imagine Sean Mannion getting that question? Hey, you gonna bring in Romeo Dobbs or John Fitzpatrick?
You guys think the wide receiver 3 will get more targets this year? I think I saw a stat yesterday. Cilio was saying on the afternoon show. 79 out of 300 attempts last year go to wide receiver 3 and tight end. I mean, they don't spread the ball that much, or they haven't. I know that's partly the quarterback doesn't spread it as much as some others, which is just part of his game. Do you think they try and fix that or approach that differently this year? You think Sean Mannion tries to change that up a little bit? I do wonder if part of the reason that the hitch routes didn't work as much as they did is because it's one thing to do a hitch and it works. It's another thing for it to be the only thing you do, or to go to it so much that there's no expectation of you to spread the ball to other places, at least to the extent that some other teams would do it. Do you expect Sean Mannion to try and address that or fix that, or is that just kind of part of the identity of the offense at this current time?
Yeah, I mean, I always felt that the wide receiver 3 was the tight end 1. It was Dallas Goedert, but that's the other question I have. Like, are they going to address tight end in free agency? Or are they going to do both, that and the draft? But to your initial question, Zander, they could focus on more, but that depends on if AJ's back or not. If AJ's here, probably no.
I'm having a hard time envisioning a team that's going to really be positioned to win without AJ Brown. Now, I understand that some people are tired of AJ Brown. I get it, all right? And I'm sure there's some people who are, all right, just get rid of the guy. I'm tired of hearing it. What does this team really look like without AJ Brown? We just talked about it. Right now, Goddard's not under contract. You're rolling out Devontae Smith, and who else as a pass catcher?
Yeah, John Dotson ain't back.
Yeah, John Dotson's not back. Goddard's right now not back. Now, maybe they bring him back.
Hey, Jahan said some nice things about Nick Sirianni.
Yes, he did. He said some good things about Jalen Hurts, too. Jalen and Nick was pretty good, yep.
I'm going to miss Jahan. Like, I've had a chance to talk to Jahan over the years.
Kerr and his Penn State guys.
With the Penn State stuff.
We never scout the helmets. Jeff would have every Penn State alum.
Wait, Jeff, sit back. I think you got the Penn State sweatshirt on right now.
I do have it on.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know you do.
This isn't a football sweatshirt.
That's a sweet sweatshirt, that Penn State.
It is. They wore this when the basketball team was supposed to go to a tournament in 20, and obviously COVID happened.
Right.
The one year they're good.
Of course, yeah, right.
There's a lot of good Penn State players, but never scout the helmet.
The most I've ever seen Jahan Dotson after they lost to Oregon this year. We were talking. He goes, "Don't say anything about Franklin." And he literally, I thought he was going to, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything about Franklin. I said, it's not James Franklin's fault. Drew Howard threw a pass in the triple coverage in overtime, and then he laughed.
Why seriously though? I think if you bring Jahan Dotson back, it's even less exciting for the people, because even though he might be better than some other, if you use him, because I don't think he's a bad player.
I thought Eagles fans liked him. Liked what he brought.
I don't know. He didn't, obviously, because they didn't use the third receiver a lot. I think the perception was that he's not very good. I just don't. To me, the question is will they use the wide receiver? Well, yeah, it depends on who the tight end is, but and obviously if AJ leaves, it ships everything. But let's just pretend AJ's back and you have Dallas Goedert back. Will they use the third wide receiver? I doubt it.
Who would even be the third receiver? Would you draft one?
Romeo Dobbs, maybe Gazoo. We just talked about him. We just brought him up.
Gazoo.
Would Gazoo want to come here and not get targets?
Yeah, Gazoo's too good. Gazoo's too good. He's a pretty good player, Dobbs.
He is. I like him.
No, you're not bringing him in as a third. He's going to get paid. He's the guy who gets paid.
What about as a wide receiver too? I mean, if AJ, in theory, if AJ's
gone. Yeah, if AJ's not, that'd be a perfect signing. Yes. And the Eagles think Devontae Smith could handle the wide receiver 1 job.
Johnny Wilson's going to be the third receiver. Let's not kid ourselves.
No. Yeah, Johnny Wilson is hurt by the shift in offense, I would think.
Well, I'm not, I don't know how big the shift is going to be, John.
Well, that's
maybe we jump to conclusions on what.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying if the talk turns into reality, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm with you. I question whether it's going to be real or not. But they're trying.
Which, to be fair, you questioned early, but you did say, well, this is a lot of change to not have a shift, which I think is true as well.
They're definitely trying, but I don't know. Like, to me, Nick has proven himself again and again that when the real bullets start flying, he's going to try to win the game no matter what, however he can. So I don't think that part is going to change, but yeah, I mean, if they lose it, that'd be number 1 on my list as far as free agency goes.
I agree.
Romeo Dobbs. I mean, history with Sean Mannion, good player. Let's see what his market value is.
John's first press conference with Romeo Dobbs, he's accidentally going to call him Gazoo.
I'll call him Kazoo. I'll screw it up on 12 million market value, which, judging by SpotRac, is usually a little low. So I'm going to guess 15 million. That's too expensive, I would think. He's a good player. He's going to have options.
What's his market value?
12 million.
Yeah, 12 million. 12 million.
Which is low, so I put it at 15 million.
Yeah, everything seems to be a little.
Yeah, we're just gonna add a couple million to what SpotRac has.
Yeah, I still feel like I don't know. I mean, I still go back to that Jaelan at 17. Like, I don't think there's a world that exists where Jaelan Phillips gets $17 million.
I don't think there's a world that exists either. It's insane.
If it does exist, like Howie Roseman should.
Well, it's a done deal.
Yeah, I think he'd already be signed, folks. I mean, well, I'm going to test it, but you know what I mean.
I would never sign before I became a free agent.
Well, Bond did that last year. And that was a little different scenario, but
he also got paid.
Yeah, he did, but I bet he would have got paid.
It was also a little different with Bond too, because that's Jaelan Phillips has been successful in 2 systems.
Yeah, both with Vic Fangio. But no, he was a good player without Vic as well. But he's played his best with Vic, no question. And he knows that too. So I think he wants to stay as well. But if somebody breaks the bank, man, gotta take it. It's a business. And that's the concern with Jaelan Phillips. But read Blankenship, Jeff. That's an interesting one.
You read my mind, John. That's where I was thinking of going.
Yeah, I'm hit or miss.
I'm gonna go.
I'm indifferent if they bring him back or not. Like, if they do, fine.
I feel similarly about him as I just mentioned about AJ. I get it. Reed is not a world elite safety. What are you going to replace Reed with that gives you a better chance to win in 26? I don't see it. He's the guy that does all the communication on the back end of the secondary. Vic has called him the leader of the secondary.
He's the glue guy.
You're going to get rid of Nakobe Dean. Now Reed Blankenship too. BG's going to be gone. They let Milton and Sweat. Well, at some point, Vic is not going to be able to take every turnover on the defense and just turn it to gold. And I don't think assuming that is a good thing. I really don't. But we'll see.
Yeah,
7.1 million. That's your Reed Blankenship valuation.
I'm signing that.
I'm signing that. I
would too. That's not a lot of money.
No.
I'm going 10 million. 2 years, 20 million.
I would do that. I would do that too. I don't think that's a bad deal for him.
I'm in, but that might be the top. But I'm in on that.
I'm in. I signed him 2 years.
Is that your offer though? If it's 2 years, 23. 11 and a half.
I mean, who are you replacing Reed with? That's the thing.
They don't have any depth at safety. They have depth at linebacker. That's why to me, it's it's an easy decision, Nakobe Dean, unfortunately, because I love Nakobe. I wish he'd come back, but can't bring him back. You just can't. You can't.
It's like Milton Williams. You want to bring him back, but
Yeah.
you had depth there. You had so much depth.
Sometimes I feel like, and I'm certainly guilty of this, but and I don't know if this even applies, but you guys tell me what you think. Sometimes I feel like we put maybe a little too much emphasis on how much difference there is. For example, let's use Jaelan Phillips as an example. From, let's say, 20 or call it 25, right? The difference is $5 million a year based on the average annual value. And like I look at the Temus last year and I'm like, they spent $5 million between Obo, Uche, and Ojalard. Now I understand you have to fill out your roster, but it's like those guys didn't contribute much on the team. I'd rather pay $5 million more for Phillips and get a couple other seventh rounders to do special teams or late draft picks to get special teams than worry about the $5 million more to give Jaelan Phillips. You know, I understand that's not a perfect way to look at it, but
I thought Uche
get a little too caught up in like 20 or 25. Like, is it that much of a difference for Howie? Probably not that much. I understand.
And I thought Uche had a good first half considering what you were really asking him to be. And then once you trade for Phillips, it's like, okay, well, you don't really even need this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and to be fair to Howie, that's how they do it.
I agree with that, John. I'm more talking about the perspective of the deal. You know, people hear 25 and they're like, oh my gosh, walk away. But 20 is good. I'm like, really? You don't want to just give them the extra 5 as opposed to going and getting.
You know what, Zander? I think that's a trap front offices get into too. They're always trying to find that 1 year golden signing, like Zach Bond, right? It's everybody.
Well, I bet you people told the Patriots giving 28 to Milton was stupid, and they were like, yeah, people thought he was worth 24. We went to 28. I bet you they're pretty happy at the 28.
Yeah. And they had the money to do it. They say, you know what? We'll overpay for this guy because we think we know what we're getting here. But they trust their scouting department. They trust their front office. You got to trust your people.
And these are all 2-year deals for the most part. You know, if things go negative, you know, you got one good year out of Milton Williams, even if you don't get a second one. Is it that big of a deal? I would argue not really. But to that point, yeah, I mean, the Eagles have been playing that game. They basically have eliminated the middle class, is how I describe it. So the middle class of the NFL, which is not the middle class of the world.
There's a middle class in the world? I wasn't aware.
So the number between the Eagles pay like premium players, and then they have rookie contracts or 1 year guys.
Yeah, right.
They don't have the only player between, I think, 8 and 15 million last year was Dallas Goedert. They had one player.
Wow, that's a great piece of intel right there.
That is, yeah. I like that.
So they've essentially eliminated the middle class.
So you're top heavy or nothing.
You're either getting paid or you're going cheap, and that you know it seems to.
Well, and that's and it strictly how many good players they have. They pay so many good players.
Eagles have Del Frisco's and Steakum on their team.
Well, it's almost a catch-22 with how good the Eagles have been drafting in recent years. I mean, they've been on a run, guys, in the draft. I'm sure you guys are.
Well, that was the whole point of Howie's quote. They'd rather keep their own players if they can than bring in somebody new because it's a PR hit. Oh, they're adding somebody. They're like, no, if we could, we'd keep Nakobe Dean, but we can't. Why do we want Eric Wilson? Then you're just shuffling deck chairs, is what he said. The good teams build from within. They draft.
That's why you should be excited. That's why you should be excited about the draft. They've been hitting on their draft picks.
Oh, their drafts have been insane.
But Kuba had a good year last year before he got hurt.
Oh, I think he's doing. I think they were very happy with him. Now, there were concerns about his, long-term sustainability because he's so small and he got hurt. So
you worry about that in 3 years.
Well, you got hurt right away, so that's why I'm a little bit worried about it. And you got hurt a bunch of times, actually, and then he got the serious injury. But if you go, here it is. Last year, you go back to really 2021. Your premium picks: Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams. That's like the best draft in the history of the world. That's your top 3 picks.
Yeah.
2022, Jordan Davis took a while, but he took off last season. Cam Jurgens, Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, you take that.
My God. 2023, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen.
Take that. Steen's the worst of these 9 players, by the way.
And he's a starter and a competent starter. 2024, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalix Hunt. And 2025, they only had 2 because they didn't have a 3rd rounder. Jahad Campbell, Drew Makuba. Pretty fucking good, man. But also it's heavy defense. So from that group,
I have a feeling they're going the other way this year.
Yeah, they have to. They almost have to. From that group, you had to give up Milton because of what he got paid.
Kobe, you're gonna have to
now you got Jordan and Nakobe to deal with. Jordan Davis and Nakobe. You're probably going to lose Nakobe. Then you have Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith to deal with. You're probably going to lose Smith, to be honest. And then you have Mitchell, DeJean, Hunt. I think they're going to try to keep them all. And then last year, it's too early, but you have Campbell and Makuba. So the only offensive guys are Cam Jurgens, who's a good player, but banged up, obviously, and Tyler Steen.
And Landon.
And then go back to
him.
Landon. Yeah. Landon Devontae. I was skipping.
And you signed Landon.
Yeah. You already signed Devontae as well.
Jeff, what version of Landon Dickerson do you think we're getting next year?
Hopefully a healthy version.
How good, how effective is he as a player?
Yeah.
But by the way, I'll also add in the caveat that John has talked about extensively here on the show. You know, Landon is a phenomenal guard. He is also a specific type of guard. You know, he's a mauler. He's a big dude. He is best when you play that ground and pound type.
Yeah, that's why they run the football as much as they do. They want to use Landon Dickerson to his strength.
Especially the power scheme that they run, the inside zone, the power football. I mean, that works with the type of guys that they have. Yeah. If they go off of that, in theory, you know, how much does that affect a player like Landon, especially with the injuries? You know, he doesn't move that great, Jeff, laterally, you know, anymore. I think with the knees and the ankles and everything he's had work on. What version do you think we're getting next year of Landon Dickerson?
I mean, he's never been an elite pass blocker, but he's been good. But you're right. Like these linemen, every lineman tells me they hate pass blocking because they're getting teed off on. They want them all.
You got to go back like this as opposed to.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go back. And they said, you know, and they've told me this, like sometimes if you're bruised up back there, it just feels bad. So now you're getting a 300-pound monster just coming at you. I mean, look, Landon's had his fair share of injuries, as we all know, enough where he's contemplated not coming back. But obviously that, you know, he's going to be back. But I'd be curious to see how he adjusts his game because I think he's good enough to do that. But do you really want to take away his biggest strength and why he gets paid $21 million a year to begin with?
Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, I've been bringing that up a lot. This does not seem like I don't want Landon Dickerson reach blocking all the time. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But you know, they did struggle last year. But I think that had more to do with the injuries than the scheme or the concepts. That's sort of like the chicken or the egg aspect of it. It's like I think they went, this isn't working because people have caught up. I think it wasn't working because people were hurt.
Yeah.
But how do you prove that? You know,
I mean, I was the first one to say Landon Dickerson did not have a good year last year, but I said if you name a bodily injury, he probably has it.
Yeah, I mean, the guy had knee surgery before the season, and he was back in like 10 days. He's a maniac.
Probably wearing braces left and right.
Oh, he hurt his back. He hurt his ankle, the knee.
Copperfit probably made a ton of money off him.
What's your Yeah, he probably has a sponsorship.
Well, by the way, and you know, for the Tush Push, it beat the shit out of Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens.
It really
and
did.
Lane Johnson.
It really, John, you were right 3 years ago when you said just QB sneak it. You'll be just as good at it.
We've have the numbers. We have the data to tell you that they were just as good, if not better.
They were
Should have listened to Jay.
They were better, actually.
Remember in 2017, they were perfect on the QB sneak.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts is not the quarterback.
That was quite a long time ago now, but I do agree. I mean, they could do it, especially with Jaelan and
Zander, I upset people in my one Reddit community because we were talking bracing, believe it or not. And someone said, "Can you believe 2017 was 9 years ago?" And I said, 2017 is as far away from 2026 as 2008 was from 2017. Oh, did I get roasted for that?
Man.
I'm going to roast you from one of your Reddit communities. Get the hell off of there, Jeff. Get out of that nonsense.
Sometimes you find out some fun stuff on there. On those cesspools. I hate it too, but you find stuff out.
I hate Reddit. But no, you're right. I mean, it is what it is. Jeff,
you do find some good stuff on there. I will say that.
Who is a bigger concern for you? Is it Landon or is it Cam Jurgens? I mean, Cam got this deal. It looks like he's promoting Go Birds on like the IV bag of some place in Bogota, Colombia.
Medellin.
I can't tell if this is a good thing or it's a bad thing. I don't
know either. That's like, what do I make of this thing?
Yeah, I'm not really
I'm a little scared. Well, at least it's better than Bryce Harper taking his own blood out and putting it back in. You see that, right?
They do that all the. That's the platelet rich therapy. That's what Jalen Carter did. They take out your own blood. But
Jalen doesn't take pictures of it.
Oh, he took pictures.
Bryce is into some of that stuff. That health, that health niche.
Bryce is going to be the first cyborg.
Yeah,
he's thinking Sheldon Cooper already. Cyborg's going to take over by this year. I got to make sure I'm in my prime by this year.
Detroit Lions, by the way, going to play in the Munich game. Trying to eliminate.
The Eagles do not play the Lions next year, by the way.
Guys, how about this for the opener? Ready? Could the Eagles be the Thursday night opener opponent in Seattle to start the season?
You know what I'll say? Loss. They don't win there.
They're going to lose that game, but they could be.
You guys, the offseason hasn't even started yet, and Johnny Mac and Jeff are putting in their predictions.
They haven't won in Seattle since what? 08?
Tough place to play, man. Tough place to play.
Jeff and John hit me with it. They're losing the game. 6 months away.
Tough place to play. Presume, obviously, my presumption is Sam's going to be back as the quarterback.
Well, I was more asking, do you think that's a possibility? I thought it was a good one because.
Evidently, the season opener is going to be on Wednesday this year.
It's Rams 49ers, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Is it the Brazil game or is it the Australia?
No, that's the Australia. Brazil game I heard is going to be week 3 this year.
Which one's going to be Wednesday before the traditional Thursday?
Australia.
That's going to be starting the NFL season on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So this is what I've heard. Brazil's going to be the week 3 game this year.
Week 3. Yeah, the Melbourne Cricket Ground is going to get the season opener.
Is it looking like the Eagles are going to have an international game?
I think they're going to play one because there's so many of them. I mean, you got to think of it. There's 8.
There's so many. Yeah, but they've been ruled out of a lot. They've been ruled out of a lot.
Yeah, they have. But there's still some that they – how about the 49ers? They got to play in Mexico City and in Australia.
Oh,
I hate these.
I understand.
And we're going to get them every week.
I understand the business perspective of the international audience because they've largely, gotten a lot out of the American audience. But, man.
I liked it when there was 1 or 2 a year because then you kind of got excited for them. Now it's just like, I don't care. Too much. It's like this NHL outdoor games. It's too much.
They're sucking it, trying to get as much money out of it as they can.
That's the problem. That's why these business, I know they run well, but man.
Well, the NFL is not going to take business advice from us. That's for sure.
No. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be more games on streaming too. So get ready for that.
Yeah, I know. You guys think they'll opt out of this TV deal thing? And try
yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go on my streaming rant here.
They paid Nielsen good money to prop up those ratings.
Yeah, to boost up all the ratings this year.
I'm gonna go on my streaming rant here.
What did that mean for other sports leagues? I feel like I don't know why I have this feeling that some of these sports leagues are a damn deck of dominoes or a Jenga set. You know, if one
they are a Jenga set.
I mean,
they base their popularity on a fraudulent company that just makes up numbers. Nielsen,
the Nielsen rings are so outdated.
A joke to the point where people started complaining when they changed their methodology. So they changed it back. It's like, what are we doing here?
I remember when, like, and again, I'll bring up some TV shows. Like, you know how Scrubs is really popular? You know, like, Scrubs never, like, they had like 7 years where they didn't reach the top 8 in the Nielsen ratings. Like, well, how are they this popular? That's when I started realizing the Nielsen ratings aren't what they're cracking up to.
I can't believe anybody takes them seriously. Anybody.
You guys ever gotten the thing in the mail where it's like the Nielsen ratings and they put like $1 bill inside?
I've never been a Nielsen family because they probably know I've destroyed them over.
They have the McMullen household flag.
I've been talking about their fraudulent it's for 15 years. The NFL thought they were undercounted and they complained, and all of a sudden they're fucking overcounted.
Yeah, they have the greatest TV ratings in history.
It is absurd what they're doing. It is fucking absurd.
Well, are the other leagues boosting theirs too? Because theirs are already not that good.
Well, they did what's called big data and panel. It used to be only panel, yada yada yada. So everything but the NFL took a big hit when they went to this new methodology, and the NFL magically exploded even further. And then people after a while said, "Yo, what is going on here?" Because either your old ratings were full of shit or your new ratings are full of shit because everybody's dropping. And then they said, "Oh, we made a mistake," and now they're back to normal.
Turns out I'm full of shit.
Yeah.
My favorite is like back in the late 2000s. Oh, this is the lowest rated World Series ever. This is the lowest rated NBA Finals ever. Well, yes, because we got smartphones now and we got other ways to consume.
Well, that's another thing.
Info.
It's such bad because so many people consume in other ways, which I don't like necessarily, but people might watch clips on X or, obviously YouTube, anywhere. Younger people get their sports in, condensed fashion on new apps and things like that.
Yeah, like on TikTok.
Yeah. And, how do you gauge that? And they haven't found the way. But what's shocking to me is advertisers still pay on these Nielsen numbers, and they're getting it's legitimate fraud out in the open. Like they're setting advertising rates on bullshit numbers.
But they can't figure out how to crack that 18 to 34-year-old demographic.
Well, Jenga might have been generous.
It is dominoes. It is.
I mean, I think we'll see what ends up happening. All right, Jeff, your final thoughts here today. We got Howie and Nick are set to speak. The combine's kicking off. Give me your final thought here on week number 7, I think it is, Jeff, of the Eagles off season.
The underwear Olympics are beginning, boys.
Yeah. Are you excited to talk about small hands and arm length?
Yeah, just as excited as I am to break down every Bryce Harper at bat in spring training.
Yeah, well, that's getting started too. A lot of people love going down there. Are you going down to Clearwater?
I'll be down there 13th through the 20th.
Very good. Very good. March 13th to the 20th. Good stuff. Love it. All right, Jeff, we appreciate you joining in, man, on the Fritz and Bianculli guest line today. We appreciate it as always. Make sure you guys follow him at Jeff Kerr, PHL, one of the best. We appreciate you doing it. Jeff, thanks for doing it today, my friend. We'll talk to you next week. All right, brother?
Appreciate you, Zander. Hey, John, don't let the Nielsen ratings and the TV guys get to your head.
Yeah. TV Guide. I missed the TV Guide.
I do too. Remember when we had to go on the TV Guide channel to figure out what the heck was on?
I remember when you had to go to the TV Guide, the print version, to figure out what the heck was on.
There was before I go, there was I forget who it was yesterday, but it was on X, and some like kid asked, how did people watch games in like the 80s and 90s and know out of town sports? Like, you literally had to wait like 20 minutes for that one. Remember when NBC debuted the 10-minute ticker?
Well, I mean, if you go way back, Monday Night Football halftime highlights used to be the biggest thing in the world because nobody got to see the games. So you'd all wait for the halftime highlights of the other games.
Right.
The miracle on ice, some people didn't know till 7-8 hours later.
Yeah, I read about that. All right, Jeff. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it.
See you guys.
See you, bud.
Boy, Jeff.